Pretty sure that, yeah, I'm not, well, I was trying to be muted that whole time, but I guess I wasn't. Okay, folks. Well, at the other end of a 2-minute commercial break on Twitch, we shall soon be starting a game of Rune Dice. This is a roguelike. I think, I was doing themed roguelikes for a while, is that I was playing roguelike games on Wednesday. But, yeah, is that this is my first time back in a while, so yeah, I don't have the time in order to be that specific or that selective. Um, yeah, for the time being, yeah, we'll just play this for this week, and then, yeah, we'll start to think about regular schedules a little bit more. And, well, speaking of regular schedules, I was supposed to be here last night for an art stream, but I simply wasn't feeling it at the time. Is that I really want to work on, coming up with something that will actually help me to centrally focus on art, make art, just a central part of what I do for my career and what I'm doing streaming. So I'm still kind of trying to feel that out for myself personally. And it may well be that, you might see 2-hour streams of me either in the morning or between the morning and up to noon on weekdays. And probably those are the times I'm going to be drawing. And then probably I'll set a time once a week in order to do requested drawings, something along those lines. I'm still, in the modus, still relatively feeling that. But, this is the act of being a temperamental artist, and this is also the act of somebody who's being ADHD and autistic. So, yeah, it's a no-win situation, as you can probably imagine. But anyways, I'll have some time to do my thinking and feeling out while we're playing this game, and we're almost at the other end of the commercial, so we'll go ahead and we'll show the intro video, and then we'll get right into playing some Rune Dice. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned in. We'll be right back.
Meow. This fearless caddis is the raddest, has skills of the baddest, magic, slinging, busting, the status, practically unmatched, runs all of the gamut, in fact, he's a reference games and chatting, bent wizardly hatting, questing, stacking, napping, this cat diversified, witty banter, seeking kitty answers, roll 20 to scamper, tune in, and enjoy the ride, Brady, the RPG cat, Brady, the RPG cat.
Okay, yeah. Mike muted for a second there. Hello, cats and kittens, felines and felidae, humans and variant humans, and every last race, class, and subclass. Welcome to Brittany the RPG Cat. Hello, Polly B from the 303. Thank you very much for the 69 bits. Say, fully loaded and ready to let the dice roll. And that's precisely what we're here for. Rune Dice. Rune Dice. What can I say about Rune Dice? It's a game very similar to Peglin, where you're basically doing one-on-one turn-based battles with opponents, but instead of dropping holes down a bunch of mazes, or dropping pegs down a bunch of hole mazes, or actually dropping balls down a bunch of pegs in a maze in hopes of dropping it into a hole. Something like that. What we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing this miraculous thing called dice merging, is that we're going to be throwing two mice, we're going to be throwing two dice directly from each other. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my gosh, boy, am I ever mushmouth today. We be gonna be throwing multiple pieces of mud dice. Okay, well, we're going to be throwing multiple sets of dice together in hopes that they land in sequential order and merge into larger sets of dice, because any time that we get an opportunity in order to do that, that gets added to our potential attack. But it's a lot better it's easier shown rather than described. So, you're usually just given dice that read 1 in order to start. I'm going to aim and then I'm going to fire. Like, what do they used to call that? Puzzle bobble style. And any time that the dice meets a dice that has the same number on it, it's going to merge together. And then I'm going to use all of those dice that merge together into a queue, which is going to help me to attack the enemy. And we're going to keep doing this, and as what probably surprises nobody, this is a roguelike. I'm just going to keep playing until I can fight no more, my HP reaches 0, and then I'm just going to have to start all over again. Hello, Queen Vampiress. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. How are you doing tonight? Let's see. All right. So that takes care of that piranha plant at the end of all of that. Now we get to choose our post-battle reward. So here we can add a protection rune, which gives a hero 10 shields. I'm definitely going with that. Let me see. Yeah, I'll pick that one out. Hold on a second. Okay, so, well, now you can obviously see how the game is played. Let's see, which direction do we want to go through? Let me see, is that if I go through this battle, which is harder than the other two battles, then I get the opportunity to go here and get a dice upgrade, so I'm definitely going to give that a try. So right now I'm playing as a thief character. We'll probably do a couple of runs like this, and then afterwards we'll try the spellcaster. Because we all know it's all too important for Brainy to be playing the spellcaster. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Gosh, that seemed to be taken care of simple enough. Let's see. I can upgrade dodge dices from 1 to 2. Or I can upgrade blind strikes from 2 to 3. I think I'll pick the dodge die. Alright. We're not through the battle yet. So we gotta do a lot more dice merging in order for this to be possible. You know, it just occurs to me that I am actually standing right in front of the queue. I had best actually move aside a little bit so that you can actually see a little bit about how this game operates. Yeah, if I were to just come right down to here. And then now you'll be able to see the dice queue up, which is just part of the overall experience of this game. Alright. So we popped a 5, so every die leading up to me changing that die into a 5 is going to be used as my HP. You see me pointing? No, you can't see me pointing, because I'm a VTuber. I do not have hand tracking, and I don't think there's a such thing when it comes to 2D VTubers. Alright. So you can just imagine that I pointed to the dice cue over there. Well, you go like that. I'm going to go like that. That, right there, where my ear is pointing. That's the die cue. Alright. Here we go. New die for bombs. A new die for healing. Well, we're definitely going to have to get some healing going at some point. Not yet. I'm sure that'll be available by 2040. You know, by the time that we're all just entirely strapped to our VR headsets every day and living in a cyberpunk hellscape run entirely by corporate personal interests. Like Wall-E, but not nearly as cute. Something like that. Alright. So, I should also make mention of the fact that I've been experimenting a little bit with multi-streaming, as I've got a simultaneous stream going on Twitch and YouTube at the moment. And then I have the YouTube stream hitched to me Facebook social media, is that I've got a link to that going. I would like to be able to also stream directly to Facebook, but I need 100 viewers on my Facebook page in order for me to do that. I'm mostly just asking people on Facebook, you know, if you guys want to see my stream directly on Facebook, then feel free to go and find me on Facebook and friend me, give me a follow. And then I'd be more than happy in order to put this stream up on Facebook as well. So let's see. New rune, minor life rune. Heals a hero for 8 HP. Can be used during combat. Okay. So I'm starting to, you know, just get little D4s down here. That every once in a while I can click on it, I can put it onto the field. And hope that, you know, I make dice links on it so that I can be able to get the abilities. Okay, so we've reached the shop. I have 18 coins at the moment. I think it might be pretty useful now if I were to buy some 1 dice. Because everything starts with a 1 die. And then these are... let me see. Venomous Essence. Gain an extra dice to roll if you didn't merge anything once per turn. Yeah, so that actually just happened to me in my very first round, so I'm going to buy that. And now I believe, yeah, that's all of the cash that I have, so... Well, just 2 normal battles ahead of me. This one looks a little bit more promising when it comes to the post-game rewards. So there, I didn't actually fail to merge. I actually made a single merge. So I didn't get my passive ability. So how am I doing health-wise? I was at 36 out of 50 HP. Ooh, that was a good hit. Managed to get 1 die to go all the way up to 6. As I realize that you can barely see my character here, so actually I'm going to have to make my logo go away. So there at the very top left corner is the thief character that I'm currently playing. Okie dokie. Going alright. At least that's what I'm going to keep telling myself. Alright. So where does that leave me? It leaves me with 35 HP. I will... Yeah, heal 9 HP. And then we have a tough battle, but then we have a wandering jester who gives you a random prize, I believe. Can refresh the field 1 turn. Okay, where can I potentially hit a 1 here? Okay, so I got a few extra coins out of that. Maybe my reward would have been bigger, but, you know, anything that is a free handout in this kind of situation is actually a good thing. Alright. Boing. Off go the dice again. We be merged in the dice. That's a 1 right there. I can't believe that that die did not touch that die. They were right next to each other. Can you believe that? Alright. That was actually a good one. It contained a probably what was a 10% chance of poisoning the enemy, which means it didn't actually happen. Okay, plenty of 1s in this array. Alright. Well, having a bunch of 1s is not actually very useful if you don't have the ability in order to rank up like you're supposed to. Alright, so let me see. New Blind Strike die. I would like that in my dice field. Only one place to go, and it's this loot area. Oh, well, actually, it's another shop. Yeah, I'll buy this very expensive healing die. That leaves me with 16. After every combat, heal 10. That would actually be pretty useful. And that just leaves me with 1 coin, so I'm leaving now. So I get to see another jester after this battle. Alright. Let's get dice merging. That one goes 2, 3, 4. Not bad, not bad at all. Alright. Ah, very good one. Oh, that was good, is that I got 2 dice rolling at the same time, and they both rolled up at 5. Hooray for physics. Alright. I'm almost at full, so I'm going to heal 9 HP right now. Let's see what I can get for this Jester bonus. Well, there you go. It merged up to 6, so I'm not going to get more than that. There's a lot of healing in that. Which is a bit of a shame because, yeah, I think I had healing on a lock at that point. Alright. in a situation where I am running up against roving hordes of boars and also goblin alchemists. Alright. Oh, come on. Ripoff. Is right there. Alright. Hey, Brainy, what kind of wacky game are we playing today? We are playing Rune Dice. It's a game where I battle incoming hordes of fantasy beasties by merging several same-numbered dice together. So, watch as I so expertly throw this one die into the one die on the field, and then hope it bounces off of multiple dies and increases the overall number. And that is basically how the game is played. Alright. How are you doing today, Teeterman Can? Are you having a good Saturday? Alright, that takes care of you. That had to be enough. That was bound to have been enough. Another protection rune or heal 9 HP. So let me see. I'm going to get like 10 after this battle, so I'll pick the rune instead. It's important to have these as we build up to the very first boss battle, because, yeah, we're probably going to end up using every single one of them on the boss. Alright. Today has been alright. Dead by Daylight's new killer got revealed today, and that was hype. You know, I actually haven't heard this yet. Who is Dead by Daylight's new killer? Oh, wow. Wasn't I supposed to get a bonus for missing a die? Well, obviously not, because I don't think I got Jack for, They secured Friday the 13th, so the next killer is going to be Jason. Okay, that's good to know. I was kind of on pins and needles when it came to that one. Because it always seemed like Freddy had his own, ASIM game license, and so did the Killer Clowns and Alien. Although the Xenomorph is in Dead by Daylight, well, you know, this all comes as a result of individual AAA companies deciding which film licenses get to be used in the game. So it's, you know, anything anybody wants to do. You know, you can either try to have your own game and make your own money off of it. But also, Friday the 13th game has probably been out of most people's Steam rotations for some point. Let's pick the bomb die this time. Alright. Treasure. And then after this, we're going to face the boss. Ooh, I've got lots of good stuff. Let me see if I can get some good passive effects. Creates a die with a value of 1 every third time the dice merges. Well, I mean, at least that, if I were to buy that, then that would mean that at least there will always be a 1 die on the field to aim for. Yeah, Friday the 13th IP holders are also notorious for being a nightmare to work with. A Nightmare on Elm Street, perhaps? Is Freddy in that game? Gosh, it's been so long since I last played Dead by Daylight. Let me see. A paralyzing strike is a backstab that also stuns the target for 1 turn. That actually might be useful. Assassinate, a backstab die deals double damage. Well, it's a good thing that I just upgraded that. An infectious bomb, when an enemy with poison dies, all enemies take damage equal to the number of poison. I bought some poison die, but I don't know if I have enough in order to make this work quite yet. Well, I might as well prepare myself for the incoming use. Okay, well, I was going to buy the healing die and then the poison die, but I guess I'm just going to have to stay with the healing die. Freddy has been in the game for a long time. You know, certainly hope that he's also voiced by Bob Englund, who is actually one of my favorite actors. Oops. Well, so much for that. So, the reward I think I get for completely missing a die on the board is that I get to shoot again. Which is, yeah, very useful. Okay. I'm gonna have to start applying these things. Plus 10 shield. And then I have another plus 10 shield. So my boss in this situation is the giant spider. And the giant spider occasionally webs up some of the dice that are on the field so that I cannot link to them. Oh. That really should have hit. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. As I've always felt personally bad for, you know, every time they want to make a video game based on a Tom Cruise property. Simply because Tom Cruise has quite notoriously said, nobody ever gets to use my likeness in a video game. I guess that was all pretty easy to do back in the NES days with games like Mission Impossible, but nowadays... Whoa, that was a very good kill. You know, it kind of needs to be when you're fighting a giant spider like this. I think I killed a piranha plant that was behind them just out of collateral damage. Okay, I am at 30 health, but I'm getting really close to putting the kibosh on this guy, so... Alright. So this will officially mark the first time I beat the boss, because I played this offline for a little bit. But all I was doing was I was just trying really hard, you know, to just figure out the gameplay. Confusion Rune shuffles enemy positions, placing them in a new random order. Okay. Rogue class allows you to play 50 if you play 50 rogue dice. So thank you for playing. You're breathtaking. Your feedback helps this dice rolling adventure, so let us know what you think. So I think we're still, you know, more or less in, gosh, what do you call it? Early access when it comes to this game. But this game is still a lot of fun to play. Oh my gosh, it's a raid! For some reason, yeah, my stream elements haven't been working out, but hey, here comes a clip. Yeah, so go check out Bidronius. Bidronius has been my friend in streaming for a very, very, very long time. He actually remembers who I was streaming before I streamed Brainy. So, yeah, that's how long that he's been hanging out. And so recently, yeah, we've been joining we've joined a Steam team together. We joined a stream team together, and I don't know if I can speak too liberally about that, but at least for the time being, is that knowing we'll be seeing a lot of Bidronius in future episodes as a result of our working together as part of a stream team. And let's see. Robert Englund didn't voice Freddy in Dead by Daylight. They had to swap up how the character looks because they didn't have the right to his likeness. Gosh, who was the other person who most recently played Freddy? I believe it was Mark Hamill. It almost seems like Mark Hamill is in everything these days, but you know, he's becoming one of those elder statesman type actors, so I'm perfectly happy about it. Let's see. Well, I have to start out with a normal battle. So I don't know what kind of special abilities playing the Merlin the Purple brings into this as opposed to playing the Thief character. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it the old college try. Alright. Whoops. Okay, not the best kind of hit. As hi, Bedronius cool emote. More than likely one of his. I mean, you know, if you're a bee, of course a swarm is going to be your raid message, and that is wonderful. That is good theming. Alright. Okay, that takes care of everybody. I think I want to put the die into my, and get healing from die very early in the game before I actually start running low on HP, which is going to happen. Alright. It's always good to get 2 dice rolling. That actually went very quickly. Maybe there's something the wizard is doing that is making this go a little bit more expeditiously than when I was playing as the rogue. Freeze die or raise max HP. I think I'll raise my total XP. Let's see. I am a hardy wizard. I'm not just going to fall as a result of 2 turns. Alright. You know, I didn't do a me intro just yet. I think Bedronius's very amicable group would actually like to hear who I am. Hello, folks. My name is Brainy, the RPG cat. I am a cat. I am Brainy, and I play a lot of RPGs. It's all what it says on the tin. I am an ADHD autistic streamer, and I regularly play games like roguelikes, indie titles, and also a lot of platformers, and also a lot of games based on classic cartoons. There's also on occasion that I will host a marathon of classic cartoons, do some drawing, and also actually host a tabletop RPG. So take a look at all of that, and also take a look at this. This is our awesome introductory video that was made with the help of one of my most frequent players. Let's go ahead and let's have a look at that.
Meow. This fearless caddis is the raddest, has skills of the baddest, magic, slinging no status, practically unmatched, runs all of the gamut. In fact, he's a reference games and chatting, bent wizardly hatting, questing, stacking, napping. This cat never Witty banter, seeking kitty answers. Roll 20 to scamper. Tune in and enjoy the ride. Brady, the RPG cat. Brady, the RPG cat.
And there it was, the Bringing the RPG Cat music video. That's just my thank you for everybody who has just tuned in from Beatronius. Alright, let me see. Extra tough battle, not so tough battle. Either way, I think it's going to take me to the same path, so we'll just go ahead and do the normal battle. Whoops. It's always great to whiff the shot, or, on your very first shot. Right when you come in. Throwing the rune dice around. Yeah, all right. You have to love that little popping noise it makes each time. I don't know if that's going up on the mic, but... Yeah, you don't think we can hear the game? Oh, I accidentally put the volume down so we could watch the video. Okay, now you can hear the game. Thanks for letting me know. Alright. I don't know why I'm acing things as a wizard. I guess I have sought this at my own energy. Yeah, at least for the time being, there's not really anything to... Oops. I guess I always miss the first one. There's no recurring that one at the bottom corner, I suppose. Unless I bounce it off of the opposite wall or something like that. See, I don't think I can actually fire in this direction. Okay, that was embarrassing. Moving on. Alright. Down you go. Okay, going pretty good so far. Oh, gee. I wasn't expecting it to hop over the other die like that. Okay, that's much better. Still mostly at full health, so I'm going to pick the other healing die. At this point, I haven't gotten too many of the rune bonus die, so maybe that's what I should be spending my cash on. Gravity rune pulls nearby dice together. Shuffle rune randomly repositions. Protection rune actually gives me 10 shields. I'll buy that for now. It was really useful during the last run. Alright. I think that's all of the money I have right now. Alright, so... Okay, so... This... Doing the tough fight will get me an enhancement. Doing the normal fight will get me a treasure chest. I think I'm still go with the normal battle. See, I hope I'm not losing too many opportunities to upgrade my dice here. Alright. You know, this is a wizard who, unlike many other wizards, does an extraordinary amount of just hitting stuff with his staff. Alright. Alright. I didn't know I was so close to a refresh. I thought I was going to have to play on that board that had nothing but 2s on it. Having those explosive dice in my queue have been extremely useful at this point. Yeah, I must say. Okay, this would be a good time to get this gravity rune because it's actually free now. Let's see, what else do we have here? Freeze dice or lightning dice? Freeze dice has actually been quite useful at this point, so... nothing to look forward to except 2 normal battles. I must battle. In this circumstance, a feud is inevitable. Queen Vampiress, who is quite often my mod, also quite fond of everybody's personalized emojis. If you got a bunch of good ones, it would really help out the overall chat dialogue if you were to be kind enough in order to show a bunch of them to her. Alright. Whoop. If only that hit the bomb die, but I don't know. Maybe I'm still saving it for a special occasion. Let the die fall where they may. Even when they do really cool stuff like pop up and explode and things like that. I'm actually a little nervous about my HP, so I'm gonna heal this time. Okay, on to the shop. Say 22 coins. That's a lot of stuff. There's some fireball dice in here. There is some arcane dice. Has 50% chance to deal additional damage equal to die value. Okay. I'm gonna buy those. I'm gonna buy 2 of those. And then we can get the dice factory again. And I think I'm good when it comes to the 4 dice. Okay, so that's good. All right. Pop, pop, pop. Making bacon, making bacon. See, I hope you weren't too terribly offended with that comment about the bacon. All right. Oh, that was a good double, but unfortunately it merged with itself. Alright. Alright. It's not plant versus zombies, it is wizard versus plant. Alright. Another healing die. Gosh, what do I want more? Do I want a jester bonus or do I want a treasure chest? I probably want the jester bonus. Let's see. Ooh, tough crowd. You know, having freeze dice is really useful because if you actually manage to succeed in freezing somebody, that means that they don't get to attack in the immediate next turn. Alright, I'm going to get there. Yeah, there you go. Alright. There we go. Uh-oh. Well, I completely airballed that one. Wow, my HP is a little bit inexcusable at this moment. So I'll definitely heal 9 here. Hopefully this gesture bonus that I fought for can result in getting me a lot of new HP. Healing die upgrade? Yes, please. Alright. So, a couple of normal battles and then the boss. No, actually, that's not the boss. That's just a challenging fight. I chose to go this path. Ow. Why your arrows gotta be so pointy, man? Why can't you use the nice safe arrows with the little suction cups on the ends of them? Alright. Uh-oh. That was a little less than availing hit right there. Okay, I really need to get some of these +2 HP dice to hit because I definitely need to start building up my HP again. Yeah, I definitely need to heal more than anything else. Because I've got a challenging fight ahead of me, and then immediately afterwards I have to fight the boss. Oh, wow, look at the great big bear in the front. That's a mini boss-sized bear right there. Ow, I was about to say nothing? Giving me nothing for that? Well, thanks for nothing. Gee, I never paid for nothing before. I'm gonna definitely pay for it if this boss gets any closer to me. Alright. I have to say, regrettably, my dice is actually getting quite up there in number, which makes it really hard to do that initial one die hit. There's a very good chance that they don't go any higher than 6. But at any rate, the bear is dead now, and then I just have to deal with the usual pile of pork. So I've got, like, a lot of money, too. So, thank you everybody for staying tuned in so far. We're going to be going into our very first ad break pretty soon. I think that's about, yeah, in less than a minute. So, thank you everybody for staying tuned in. Once again, thank you very much, Beedronius, for raiding in. We'll be back after this really quick 2-minute word from Twitch. Let's see, what do I want? Spreading Frames Relic. Well, unfortunately, I've been avoiding adding flames to my spellcasting. So that's not going to be too useful. And then, of course, I'm also going to heal HP. I wish there was a way to go backwards because, you know, I would do a bunch of backtracking during this upcoming break. So people wouldn't have to miss too much on the boss battle. I can't do that, but that's what replays are for. Or, of course, you know, you can go watch it over on YouTube. Which is something else that I've been experimenting with. Alright. Still fighting the giant spider. I don't quite know if there's like another type of boss here, or maybe when I'm on the main screen I'm going to actually have to change some settings so that we get different kinds of fights going. Okay, so that's what a vortex die does. I know that now. Alright. By the time that we actually come back from the 2-minute break, I'll have defeated everyone except for the actual spider boss. Alright. Wish I had something that would... yeah, help me... yeah, get to those, all of those healing 2s and 3s in the middle. Uh-oh. I might not make it this time. Oh, that's unfortunate. To say that, my very first run as the wizard did not end well. So I've beaten a boss as the rogue. I haven't beaten a boss as the wizard yet. That's a whole lesson there. So these are the only two characters that I have unlocked at the moment. So let me see. It says that, you know, the rogue that I have is a level 2, whereas the mage that I have is still level 1. So I guess, you know, there really isn't anything to do except try to finish the run as the mage. So we shall do that. We shall proceed to do that. Alright. First normal battle. Dude, that's a pretty interesting emote right there. Okay. Beedronius is using his pincers in order to grab a heart. It's your grippers. He's got his grippers around your heart, just like he has had around mine for the entirety of the time that I've known him. Oh, whoa. Oh, Brainy. Yeah, save them. Non-binary. It's a type of wordplay that can only be used by a B VTuber or a Bean VTuber. I think there's one of those somewhere. Or as you know, I gotta have my healing. I think I'll do the normal battles. I think I am going to have to do an extra hard battle either way, so might as well make it like one more battle down the line. Let me break it down for you. Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. Well, easily enough done. I feel pretty bad about only having maybe about 3 coins on me, but we're not anywhere near our shop. We're going to have to do a lot more battling. Alright. Oh, wow. Just in front of a whole pile of 2s and didn't make it. Alright. Very good, very good. And picking the healing die again. And we have another battle ahead of us. Five. Got our dice up to 5. Got that goblin dead. Still picking out the healing die. Okay, now we get our first treasure chest. Oh, well, we get our first shop. It's all the same to me. Um, mercy rolls. Okay, yeah, we were doing mercy rolls before. That actually might be useful here because I have actually whiffed on quite a few of these early dice rolls. Okay, on to the next fight. I do not seem to be moving at the same very quick upgrade speed that I was doing as the wizard in the last run. It's very likely that the wizard is actually going to need to go up to level 2 just like the rogue did in order to be very useful here. Alright. Here we go. Okay, easily done, but we already knew that. Yeah, we've got 2 of these weakness dice. Once again, is that we're hoping really hard not to use our D4s during normal battles and only save them for the die. Upgrade the freeze die to level 2. I recall those being very useful last time. See, it was a good thing I got that bonus shot. I am hitting you with a stick. Please respond. Oh wow, look at that 6 made a 2-point landing on top of my healing die. Doesn't matter, field got refreshed now. Oh, I wish they all could be healing runes, but no, I'm going to have to get a gravity rune at some point. Don't have anywhere to go except in a harder battle. Where, just for funsies, I'll go ahead and use one of these weak list stacks. These things are probably not to be so jealously guarded. Like what I've been doing so far. If I got an opportunity to replace them with some better ones, then I should take that opportunity, Darvit. Alright. Yikes. Once again, it's another funny way for a dice to be falling. Always just in time for the dice to be refreshed too. It's like there's a flag on the play. Incomplete dice roll. Something of that nature. second gravity rune. Or, yeah, new arcane die. You know, so this is an indie game, and it does have, you know, somewhat limited musical output. But I do have to admit, I've really been digging all the tunes that have been in this game. Whoever did the composition, you know, really did go out for making something fantasy themed. Almost makes me think I am at Red Fair. Somebody toast me a roasted corn. I do love grilled corn. I like any food grilled, quite honestly. Alright. Oh, gee, all of my die have to be upgraded from 2 to 3. Okay, I'll do it to the freeze die. Seems to do very small amount of damage to my overall stratagem. Alright. Shuffling runes, randomly position all die on the field without changing their value. Protection runes give 10 shields. Okay, yeah. I think I like that one a little bit more. Oh, gee, nothing ahead of me except one extra hard battle. But then afterwards, I get to do a jester roll, so that's good. Oh, there's that bear again. Probably upset that Ranger Smith is no longer allowing him to steal the picnic baskets. Okay. We're going to work on this a little bit, because I'm going to go ahead and use that other weakness exploitation die. Okay, so the bear is at the front lines. Which means I don't really have to worry about hitting those special bear dice anymore. Yikes. Okay, so free reward. I'll go with the freeze die. I don't have too many. See, that bear be armored as well. I definitely have to make sure that that healing die gets in there. Oh, wow, I got a die above 6. That seems like something that would be worth an achievement, but sadly it is not. But that was definitely enough in order to total our little earth sign a nuisance. I didn't really need all of that in order to get rid of the last guy, but let's raise our max HP. And let's raise our max HP again. That could actually be quite useful. Now let's see if the Jester can help us with some more HP additions. Alright. Also, upgrade the freeze die. And upgrade the healing die. Well, nothing to do except battle. After this, I can go to the upgrade pavilion. Is everyone having a good time? I mean, I kind of feel as though this game is pretty fun to play. I don't know how well it reads on streaming. You know, I love my roguelikes just because it is that quick, easy to go through, easy to do type of strategy game. It's like an RPG, except I don't actually have to worry about progressing. As if I do badly enough, then I'm just gonna have to start over anyway. Yeah, right. There we go, there we go. Yeah. I'm gonna have to keep my HP up because we're getting really close to where the boss might potentially be. Yay! Now I have to roll a 5 in order to get a die upgrade. It'd be really great if I'd be able to pull that off, but I don't really know. That's gonna be something I'm actually gonna be able to do. Oh look, Beedronius. Oh, I thought this was a honeycomb room. It's actually a treasure rune. Creates 3 1-coin dice in a small area without starting your turn. Seems kind of unfortunate that I would have to run into it right before I fight the boss, but oh well. Let's buy another freeze die because we definitely could use some of those. Battle Scavenger. Every time you kill an enemy, gain 3 shield. This would have been really useful a lot earlier as well. A Lucky Horseshoe. Shop rerolls cost 2 coins instead of 4. Deep freezes. Frozen enemies can attack while the freeze effect is active. Okay, well. Anything that helps make my freezing stronger. I need to buy an extra dice so that I can... Like, I'll buy another shield die because those have been very useful. And then I have 9. So then I'll buy the bomb die and then I'll buy the lightning die. Okay. So I should be pretty well equipped to fight this boss. I only have like 50 out of 60 of my total HP, but there's really not a lot I can do about that. And I'm fighting that nerd spider again. Alright. Wouldn't be too terribly bad if I were to use one of these protection runes. That's unfortunate. Something I notice about gameplay is that I actually shouldn't be hitting the enemy dice, the ones that are red bordered, because if I do, then the enemy actually gets to be a little bit stronger. I need to be careful about that. That's not something I actually want to happen. Alright. Smack the pig, smack the pig. There we go. Okay, all of the spider minions are gone. I just have to fight the spider itself. Alright. Okay, alright. Well, I have won the boss battle again. So, I think I actually might be in the midst of playing a game that is still in the works, maybe in early access. And I bought it for maybe about, I think maybe about $7. So that's believable. There's a few people in here that are locked. I don't know if it means that they have yet to be developed or there's actually something that I can do in order to lock them. Both John Wick Blade and Merlin the Purple are at level 2 at this point. So let me back up here for a little bit. All right. So what else do we have? Settings, almanac. Okay, yeah, so those are all of the bonuses. Well, let's see what happens while we continue to upgrade our characters. So, I need to be completing the nearby forest, and then there's 2 other okay, now I'm actually understanding how the game works. If I don't want to fight the spider boss, I choose a different mystery boss. I also have the ability in order to turn on hard mode. Well, I think I can turn hard mode on if I'd already defeated the boss, but I haven't defeated the boss. So I'm going to go defeat the boss, and then I can turn hard mode on against them. Okay, another wizard run. We have learned how to progress in the game, which is a very good thing to know. Let me see. Free die, free die. I can get an opportunity in order to get fire dice this time. Let's see how great I would be if I became a pyromancer. Fireball. All right. I have inflicted my first burn. There isn't much in the way of achievements in this game, at least not Steam achievements. Alright. A drop rune places your master die at any position on the field. Slightly pushing nearby die. That's actually sounds pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and take one of those. Do a normal battle. No need to think that I'm some kind of super wizard at this point. Well, not in game anyway. I have an inflated sense of self. Alright, Confusion Runes shuffles enemy positions, places them in random order. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the HP upgrade. At least for starters. Ooh, okay. I inadvertently took the mini-boss path, so... I was half expecting to run into the bear again. It looks like we've got this great big orc master to deal with. Alright. I think we're going to see a slow growth of goblin minions on our way to trying to fight the boss. Alright. Okay, free rune. I'll choose a shuffle. You know, in fact, I'm going to use a shuffle. Yeah, silently hoping that that is going to help me to create a massive combo in one direction or another. Didn't I tell myself I had to avoid the red border dice? Because that doesn't seem to be something I'm actually doing. Right. Because you can go ahead and you can hit me for that one, because that was a lousy move. Alright. Yeah, alright. Okay, that takes care of the mini-boss, but, you know, he left dozens of goblins in his wake. Is prepared to take out the entire goblin village at this point. Alright. Okay, that took a lot. Pyromaniac's focus. Pyromaniac's focus. Fire die prioritize the enemy with the most fire. Alright. I've been fighting too many boars. Now I can't stop thinking about Porcus. Alright, of course I don't want to battle again. Instead I want to go to the shop. Increase your max HP by 15 and heal 15. Okay, that's a no-brainer. Of course, it doesn't leave me with anything else I can buy. Alright. Standard battle, and then afterwards we can go to the Jester. Alright, so... Pyromania, Pyromania. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to light a flame in your heart. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's way off key. Oh, got so close to hitting the bomb, but no such luck. The cards, or rather the dice, were not in my favor. Cool. Okay, so what do I think I need more of? Do I need more money or do I need more health? Upgrade. Grab another drop dune. Well, I already have one. I will get the gravity rune instead. Alright. So, go here and then go to the shop afterwards. Alright. Okay, a free die upgrade. Probably want... well... a little ice magic wouldn't hurt, even though I'm focusing on the fire magic this time. Alright. A healing touch. 20% chance that your throwing die will be a healing die. That actually might be useful. Shattering cold, frozen enemies take 50% more damage. Why not? And, well, that's it. I don't have enough coins for anything else. Next battle. Okay. Whoa. I've never seen a die lie flat on its back before, but it certainly happened. It is on the recording. Everybody will know that that happened. Alright. You know, I also noticed that I have a lot of HP. I have 72 HP. You know, that's starting out at level 2 and then getting a bunch of HP upgrades and during this run. Yay. Nobody attacked in that round. I think it's probably just because they felt bad for me. So yeah, every now and then is that the die that I get to throw into the field is actually going to be a healing die, which is going to help me with my healing. Minor life rune or bomb die. I think I'll take the bomb die. Bomb die, makers of great video games and also gachapon. Great gachapon figures, also the holder of many prolific anime licenses, including but not limited to Gundam, One Piece, and Ultraman. Okay. Mini boss battle, and the mini boss happens to be that moose with all the runes on his antlers. Hey, Rocky, watch me make a jacket out of this mage. Alright. Boy, that was bad. That was really bad. And there was a bomb in that, but it really didn't do anything. Ooh, I am running very low on HP. Well, I've gotten close enough to the moose to punch it. So at least I got that going for me. Alright. Okay, I survived with just the piranha plant left to battle. But I only have 5 HP, so let's actually hope that... Yeah, this next one is good enough just to deal with my little archenemy here and allow me to survive the melee. Of course, I need to heal 12 HP now. And then I'll heal another 24. I only have 31, and now I'm going to the Jester. Boy, do I need health. Oh, wow. That was unfortunate. I completely and totally whiffed a bonus round. Well, darn it. This run is more than likely going to end right here, folks. Grabbed a whole heap of dice to begin with. Okay, so that's how the master die is supposed to work. Good to know. I think I'm still quite doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Doomed from the Middle English, referring to ruination or death. Doomed is set to perish in immortal agony. No, actually, I survived the whole thing. With a whole 24 HP left. Ugh, I only have a shop to go to before the final boss. Hopefully there is stuff here that can help me heal. For every enemy killed, gain 3 shield. Yeah, why not? I'm at a loss for words for how much pain I'm in right now. Let's see. I can buy a life rune die, and then I can buy another one. So, I'm going to be using those right at the beginning of the next boss battle. Alright. So here is our main boss. He is one great big ugly orc right here. Alright. So what was I going to do to begin with? I said, yeah, let's crack open those suckers. Pull some dice together. As a freebie. Ooh, I still hit the boss die. Well. One heck of a dice multiplier, I can tell you. I'll tell you that for certain. Alright. Can't be missing die. I can't be missing die in this situation. You know, otherwise, Orc Ward is definitely going to Louis Guzman all over me. Okay, this is actually going quite well. I mean, other than being completely perforated by arrows. Which is, you know, just kind of inevitable in a situation like this. So, you know, the Orc King seems to be putting up slightly less of a fight than the Giant Spider did. Down he goes, leaving me with just the rest of his minions, who still probably have a good bid at punching my ticket. Oh, and look, we're going into another ad. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned in. I try to do what I can in order to make this remaining battle brief, and then we can more than likely start on the very next boss immediately afterwards. Alright. We'll be back after this 2-minute word from Twitch. Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned in. You know, even though that I've been multi-streaming, is that, you know, I have no earthly idea how the ad rolls work on YouTube, so I honestly do not know what to say about that. Alright, there we go. Done and done. Oh, yay, we've got a new class. Throwing die booster. Yeah, well, pick that. Reset bounty, amplify rune, bigger rune. Lots of goodies for that one. Okay, so we have actually unlocked a new character. His name is Arahorn Thronebane. You know, everything just kind of seems to be a slight word slant on an already established character. Alright, so yeah, what we can go ahead and start a new run. We'll try it with a new character. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll... And then... Just so that we can, for sake of attempting to level up, I'm going to go back to the giant spider again. What does the standard warrior character feel like? Alright. These runs are getting slightly easier, as that I assume that at level 1 the warrior probably had a little bit more junk in the trunk than the characters I got to start with. Got a special die here called the Overwhelming Die. Target an enemy, the amount is 2 times the dice value. You know, we are doing multipliers on attacks, because that is what you tend to do when you are playing a warrior class. I'm going to attempt the extra hard battle because it's the only one with a ward at the end of it, which is a treasure chest. Alright. Look at it go. Alright. Wow, this is going incredibly easy. As the warrior is cutting through all of these enemies like butter. Butter, I tell you. Drop rune. Alright. Let's get our treasure. Spring coil, merge dice jump higher when seeking their target. So, well, yeah, why not? I mean, it's a relic. It's not a die. Is that it's a permanent effect, so it's definitely worth getting. Ooh, these both lead to a mini-boss battle. Well, I better take my medicine. Alright. Alright. Wow. This is going easy, a little too easy. Because this guy has just so much straightforward offense. There's probably something I'm neglecting when it comes to doing my upgrades. I'm just suspicious that way, especially when it comes to playing roguelikes. Is this auto-targeting ability that he has is paying off in dividends. Anytime I succeed in hitting something with a die, and then immediately goes for the nearest die of the next number. Am I just made to believe that I am suddenly playing this game on easy mode? After having beaten 2 runs with completely different characters? Alright. Upgrade the stun die. Doing hit stun, always one of my favorite status effects. Alright. Rar, he says. He dares to rar in my very countenance. All right. Oh, wow. Missed that one by a country mile. See, one drawback to this is that, you know, as soon as I reach something that is already not on the field, like a 4, then the dice immediately stops moving. Not really a good thing. Alright. See, that time it aimed for the 4 and then it missed completely. Okay, there we are. Let's heal 12 HP. Overwhelming presence. When you merge the stun die with 4 or with a value of 4 or higher, it stuns an additional enemy. Why not? More hit stun. That's when things started to pick up, when I began to do more hit stun. Alright, Stunning Rune, 15% chance your die thrown will be a stun die. That would be really good to have right now. And 4 healing die. And yeah, that's good. Alright. Okay, do this standard battle, and then afterwards I can see the Jester. Jester, I have this terrible problem. Every time I squeeze my Adam's apple, I can taste cider. Alright. You know, doing this many combos just to pick on the little rhinoceros beetle seems a little bit unfair. But why not? Unfair is good. Yeah, just heal 9 HP. Let's see the Jester. I don't think I really need health, so I think I should go for cash. There we go. Shield die, why not? Treasure, amplifier, shuffle. I'll big shuffle. Alright. Uh-oh. Time for me to lay the smack it down on your honey-glazed asses. It is a vicious mockery, but it's also detrimental to me because it makes me crave ham. Delicious, delicious ham. Okay, so this one spring coil ability, probably something I need to grab for every run, because it just makes the entirety of the dice work better. Second shuffle rune? Why not? It means I can use it in, I can use it in a different run. Let's see. Reflective barrier, enemies take 50 damage back when they're attacking your shield. Well, I still have yet to see if this is capable of generating good shields. But of course I will take the Triumph Elixir. That leaves me with 10. I can also get the Relentless Fury. A Fury die grants 1 shield stack. Why not? Well, now I actually might be good at generating shields, and I'm gonna wish I bought the other relic. Them's the breaks. Alright. Okay. It's funny that despite being the warrior, I don't believe that I have really had that many difficult battles. I've had one mini boss battle so far. I think that's probably the only thing that I can claim was a little bit hard. Or maybe it just seemed hard because I was using other classes before. Wow, I can't believe that he stayed alive after that beating. Alright, easily dealt with. Let's increase max HP. Okay, this one leads to a Jester, so that's the one that's worth doing. Alright. Very neat and tidy little dice drop right there. Alright. First time I've hit an enemy die in a long time. Oh, 2 in a row. Because I'm just lucky that way. Oh wow, that was worth nothing. It's always a risk to try to push the dice instead of try to merge the ones, but... Well, maybe especially since I am using this guided power-up. Wow, I am running very low on HP at this point. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm seeing the Jester next. Okay, so how can I do this to maximize some health? Upgrade shield die. Well, upgrade stun die, actually. Amplify runing. Increases all dice values on the field by 1. Okay, well, I guess I can't. I just have to skip that one. Because I already had a full dice field. I always forget about these darn things. Let me see. What else do we have? All shop items cost 20% less. That's a little bit after the fact. Reset bounty.
Seal though. I don't like the pen. Well, I guess I'll just take more shields. What's artist of the song play now? This one is...
I wonder where that came from. Oh, hello, ZLHQ. Thank you very much for tuning in. How are you doing tonight? Let me see. What was I going to pick out? You know, I have really been enjoying this game. I think that, you know, this is probably a roguelike I'm going to be spending some time with. Let's see. Adds 1 extra coin die to the field to start the next round. I do definitely want to get a new D4 just before I fight the boss. Yeah, well, I am quite partial to the shield rune. What else did I do? 10 damage back when attacking your shield. You know, there's actually just an outside chance that this relic might be helpful now. Gain a gold coin each time the field refreshes. Well, I only have a couple of battles next, so... Let's see. What else can we add here? Well, I'll just buy, you know, an array of standard dice here. And now it's time to fight the boss. Time to make the donuts. Time to beat the boss with donuts. Something like that. Alright. So we're fighting the giant spider again because, you know, we haven't leveled up the warrior. So we're going slightly back and then making sure that we level up our heroes evenly in a responsible way. So, just like all of my other runs with other characters, that means it's more than likely I'm probably not going to survive this. Oh, let's see. So, ZLHQ, very recently you also played this game. Let's see, I think I wanna, yeah, let's pop in this direction. I'm kind of on the later stages, but the bosses are super hard. Well, as they would be. You know. At least for now, is that I'm just kind of going at it at a relatively even clip. Is that, you know, get warriors together. Upgrade all the classes in a nice, smooth way. Of course, this is about to bite me right in the bum because I'm probably not going to have enough gas in the tank in order to beat the giant spider this time. Ooh, that hurt really bad. Okay. Let us add shield. Shuffle. Alright. Yeah, the spider has no chill. Is that I thought that, you know, compared to the Orc King boss, that these actually might have been a little bit more fast-paced. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I am so dead. 2 HP left. Is there any way that I can pull myself out of the fire here? Add a shield. Yeah, probably no such luck. I am dead. Dead am I. Alright, so folks, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Rune Dice. Is that I cannot say enough good things about this game. This is probably the most fun that I've had since playing the equivalent to this game, which I think I had said was Peglin. It is very similar to Peglin, but it also, the mechanic marches to the beat of its own drum. It is very fun to play. I would recommend it to anybody. And, well, I've got a lot of game ahead of me because it means that I have more characters to unlock. Is that I have, yeah, a lot more bosses to fight. And I need to potentially open up all of the other stages that are here. But, hey, Judo Kame, thank you very much for tuning in. Let me give you a shout out really quick. So, just like with Bedronius, Judo Kame is also working with me on an upcoming stream team project. And, you know, so far is that, you know, everything looks very promising with that. I can't wait to get the opportunity to talk more about that. Is that, you know, announcements, of course, will always be over on my Blue Sky page. Oh, that's an old clip of me. Well, they always do old clips. Is that you should see some of the old clips that they dredge up when it comes to me. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. We are going to be going over to a raid now. Let's see, who would we like to pay a visit to? Sorry, going. I think right now I would like to go over to my good buddy Abigail Croc. Right now they're in the middle of playing a game of Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, that should be that should definitely be something worth watching. So all right, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much to Bidronius for raiding, and ZLHQ, and also my mod, Queen Vampiress, and Tierman Can. Thank you all for tuning in. This has probably been one of the more popular streams that I've had in a while. You guys have all been awesome. Is that I leave you in the very capable claws of Abigail Croc. All right, let me go ahead and put out that raid message. All right, folks, so I'm going to be back tomorrow, and Sunday, of course, is going to be Sonic Sunday. We're hoping to play the second half of Sonic Roboblast 2, which should be fun. You know, Sonic Roboblast 2 is just a very well-made, fan-based 3D game, which unfortunately was the first game in a long time to set off my motion sickness. But I digress. We are definitely going to make a bid in order to try to finish it tomorrow during Sonic Sundays. In the meantime, though, I'll remain Brainy the RPG Cat. Remember, BINY means smart. Nothing is too hard if you use your head. Always be the change you want to see in the world. Have a good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for watching.